As we've been reporting, the family of the late anti-apartheid activist Dr. Neil Aggett are looking for answers as the inquest into his death while in police custody, which gets underway in the High Court in Johannesburg today. Dr. Aggett was found hanging in his prison cell on February 5th. In 1982. Let's get the very latest now from court. Nozintombi Miya, SABC reporter, joins us now live. Nozi, very good morning to you. We were on the court proceedings. It was indeed interesting. It just broke up a bit towards the end. But get us caught up. What have we learned so far with regards to this inquest?
Well, a very good morning to you, Blaine. 38 years since the death of Dr. Neil Aggett and his family seeking answers. And we're going to hear from all the different role players, from the NPA, from lawyers representing the Aggett family, as well as lawyers representing the police, just what really the truth was of the cause that led to Dr. Aggett's death in police custody 38 years ago. And with me, I've got a representative of the family, Mr. More Hawthorne. Thank you so much, Mr. Hawthorne. Your lawyers just presented your advocates just presented their testimony, giving an overview of what they hope will happen. Just give us a quick summary of that.
Well, I think that we're going to have to test, was this a suicide? Secondly, if it was, why did it happen? What was the cause of it? What was responsible for it? If it wasn't a suicide, then the implication is that it was the direct murder. We'd have to look at all the conspective of evidence and helping the court to come to a decision in this regard, including the immediate evidence of witnesses, the medical evidence. We have to look into that carefully and with a penetrating look. And then we would have to look at other circumstantial issues, such as cover-up. Why a cover-up, if there was a cover-up, which I believe that we will show. And what could have been the direct cause of that cover-up?
Mr. Hawthorne, this is the second time that the Aggett family is looking for justice, seeking justice. What were their concerns with the first inquest, and what are they hoping to get with this second inquest?
Well, I think that the first inquest was highly problematic, in that one finds there's a finding that he committed suicide, and yet was not touched in any way, and that the theories produced for suicide in that context are not very convincing.
And now the family is hoping that this inquest,
put it mildly,
will come up with the truth.
Yes.
All right. Your advocates spoke about how the special security branch was corrupt. Just talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, corrupt in this sense, that in the Timor inquest, I believe we demonstrated clearly, and was accepted by the court, a pattern of torture by the security branch stretching back to April 1963 and continuing all the way through to the Timor inquest, and now continuing through to the Aggett Inquest. That was not their job. Their job under the legislation was to interrogate people and then let them go. To hold them incommunicado for interrogation and then let them go. But they didn't just use it for that. The evidence has been demonstrated in one inquest at least, even in the Van Heerden matter in 1984, where the court accepted that Oret Van Heerden had been tortured as a result of sleep deprivation. Although, at least it came to that conclusion then, that in fact torture is corruption, because they have no right to do it under the law. So they were systematically in breach of the law, and in that sense corrupt. But more than that, committed to hiding this truth from the public and the world, for that matter. No doubt because South Africa's international relations were at stake, for one, at that time.
Correct. Thank you so much, Mr. Hawthorne. They're Blaine, for the Aggett family, just giving us details, some details of what their arguments and presentations will be before this court over the next 8 weeks, as the inquest into the death of Dr. Neil Aggett in police detention in 1982 unfolds over the next few weeks. You'll recall that today is the first day of the sitting of this inquest, and it is expected to take place for the next 8 weeks. Blaine.
Yeah, no doubt this inquest has, a lot of people are interested in what actually transpires here, because this, harks back to the 80s. Just talk to us about who's currently present, Nozi, in the gallery today.
Blaine, court has just begun now, and we cross now to court proceedings.
Recalling matter inquest.
All right, we'll come back to Nozintombi in a short while. I want to take you now to KwaZulu-Natal very quickly.